107.5 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
Do you feel comfortable with where the defense is? I do. I personally think they're in a good spot.
I do too, and much like the offense, I feel like we maybe got a little bit of a false perception in that first game because you won against a Power 4 opponent. And I don't know if we foresaw Virginia Tech being as bad as they've been through the first month of the season. So maybe that was a little bit of fool's gold. But in that game, J.R. Johnson looked great. You know, the other linebackers, Justin Okoronkwo, looked great. Brandon Cisse looked great. Like all these guys you were expecting to be kind of the names on this defense did start off the season strong. And, again, they did their job by holding SC State at bay for most of that game while the offense was trying to figure things out. I think really the perception shifted with how poor they looked against Vanderbilt, Missouri, mainly with came to missing tackles and not being able, to slow down the run. But that being said, I think what we saw to them this past weekend against Kentucky reinforces some belief. And when you have a defense that's so new and young in a lot of ways and replacing the talent that they did, it's not unexpected that they would have some growing pains, some bumps in the road early to start the season. You hope what you saw, and I get it, Kentucky's probably the worst team in the SEC this year, so their performance against Kentucky is not necessarily indicative of what they're going to do against LSU and Alabama and Ole Miss and teams like that. But you hope that is a good way for them to carry momentum in the bye week, and that's more of a representative of what we can expect out of them going forward. Because if they play anywhere close to that, you're going to have a shot in all these games against really good teams.
I haven't done my research just yet. I was thinking about this actually earlier and got tied up, and I'm going to kind of do it real quick. When we officially start getting the Maction Wednesday games.
Ooh, that's a good question. That is usually...
It's probably about I'm going to go 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
It's into October, I know that. But yeah, that's usually right. About mid-season,
so,
I would say.
2 weeks from yesterday. 2 weeks from Tuesday.
Heck yeah.
Tuesday, October 14th. You got a nice, we got Sunbelt. We'll have Sunbelt Tuesday, Maction Wednesday.
Fun Belt. Fun Belt and Maction.
Okay, yeah, New Mexico. Well, it's New Mexico State, Liberty, Arkansas, South Alabama, Florida International, and Western Kentucky. That starts on the 14th. Let me just make sure it's not next week, too. Oh, no, next Wednesday night. Next Wednesday night, the 8th. So a week from now, we start getting those Wednesday night games when you get a Missouri State, Middle Tennessee, and a Liberty UTEP game. So you can check out Jamie Chadwell. Wants a hot commodity. ESPN, ABC putting out the numbers so far on viewership, and college football, we can hate it, we can dislike it. It's being still the actual product still being consumed at a very high rate.
You weren't here for this, but week one was the most viewed week one in college football history. And of course, you had a ton of big games that weekend. But you mentioned something about this on Twitter. We spent the entire offseason talking about what's wrong with the sport, NIL, transfer portal, all these kind of things that cause headaches in this age of college sports. But man, when the games actually start getting played and that kind of stuff moves off to the side, we still love the sport as much as we always have, if not more than ever.
You're right. Week one got us off to an incredible start. Helped that we actually had good games. LSU and Clemson coming down to the final 5 minutes. Even Florida State, Alabama. I know that score was a little bit different, but that kept us very entertained. Mm-hmm. Texas having the ball, and all right. Arch Manning, can you get the team down the field? No, you can't. That kept us all very entertained. There was a lot of just entertaining football games. Thankfully, it was all kept off by a non-entertaining game with North Carolina and TCU. But
I enjoyed watching that from the spectacle aspect.
Big picture, Tyler asks a great question. So Sam Pittman gets let go on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And in this world of college football these days, success is expected almost immediately. Transfer portal, NIL. Tyler says, did Kirk Cignetti and Clark Lee's success put more pressure on a coach like Sam Pittman? I think you got a legitimate question here.
I think so, because let's kind of look at Arkansas and those Petrino teams right around the time that Carolina was having success. We're having success too, winning 10, 11 games, going to major bowl games and all that kind of stuff. But since then, they've kind of toiled in that average to below average in the SEC. And there are some programs that we look at the Power 4 level. You know, you can pick one from just about every single conference that we say, okay, well, that program's just supposed to be not great or at best be average. And I think Vanderbilt's the shining example of that because they've always been the doormat of the SEC. And it's like, well, Vanderbilt's good seasons are 7-5 and 6-6. They make a bowl game, they're going to be happy about it. And look, there's still a lot of season left to be played. But I think you look at where Vanderbilt's at right now, saying, wow, this Vanderbilt team has the chance to do something no Vanderbilt team's ever done before. And you look at Arkansas, and it's like, all right, you're just okay. And what Sam Pittman's done over the past couple of years, 10, 15 years ago, probably would have been acceptable by Arkansas standards, but not anymore. And what Clark Lee's doing at Vanderbilt, what Signetti certainly did at Indiana last year, I think tells every program out there, hey, we can do this ourselves. We got to find the right coach, got to have the right resources, but it's not impossible to have success no matter what your school is or what their history is as a program.